involved units. Speaking in Homa Bay County, setting the tone for the devolution conference that kicked off today and runs to 15th of August, Governor Muthomi Njuki says there has been a serious struggle on the part of counties when it comes to fully funding the health docket, as much of the resources are still in the hands of the Ministry of Health, which he states should be left with a policy role only. According to Governor Njuki, the health budget at the Ministry of Health is more than double that of the counties combined, yet health is fully devolved. Consequently, the COG Health Committee chairperson says the question of funding healthcare for counties has remained a key concern because of the mere resources allocated.
It is not a secret that there is competition for resources between the two levels of government in all ministries. Not just health, because the Ministry of Health headquarters, which is headed by the Cabinet Secretary, and of course by extension the Executive, also have roles to play. They feel they need to coordinate health, not just by delivering policy. They also need to be involved in changing the lives of the people. And therefore services that are meant to be delivered by the county government, sometimes you find them being duplicated. And of course that poses a challenge because the resources can never be enough, and therefore we still feel a lot of resources are left at the national level in the ministries, where you find a ministry could be having a budget that is 2 times for a particular ministry, like health, 2 times the combined budget for all the counties for health. I still feel devolution is very young, and the national level of government has never really let go the devolved units, devolved units of counties, or what we call the counties, because they still hold on a lot of resources that would be going to counties and helping counties directly if it's being administrated from the county level, without having to go into specific details.
The government has now called on Kenyans who will turn up for the Kenya versus Zambia match on Sunday to uphold the set regulations by the Confederation of African Football (CAF), failure to which Kenya could lose the rights to host the CHAN quarterfinals. FKF on its part says it will organize fan zones where Kenyans will watch the match on Sunday in a bid to decongest the Kasarani Stadium. CAF has cut the stadium capacity at Kasarani down to 27,000 after a section of Kenyans stormed last Sunday's match without tickets, in addition to a $17,500 fine over the disturbances in the stadiums.
We call on all supporters to strictly observe the following safety measures. Number 1, you are advised to purchase match tickets only from authorized online vendors, as online only e-tickets will be the valid form of entry and no printed versions. This is so important. In the last couple of games, we witnessed a lot of forgeries. We witnessed a lot of fake tickets being put into the market. So please only buy tickets from the official platforms that we have provided.
I said before that we are hosting CHAN and you need to have some good behaviors. This has not been fulfilled. CAF have taken decisions to fine FKF for the last 3 matches, which is unacceptable. We appreciate the support our spectators have given Harambee Stars. We appreciate the many supporters who have attended our matches from the beginning, both at Nyayo and Kasarani. But we are disappointed a bit because of the few who have violated regulations to break into the stadium and force their way through. CAF regulations are very clear. If you don't have a ticket, even the local regulations are very clear. If you don't have a ticket, don't go near the stadium. Our fans have violated this. They have gone a long way to defy the police on duty and force their way into the stadium. This is not acceptable.
The government has defended the pay-as-you-eat meal plan for the Kenya Defence Forces officers, saying the officers have already been given a meal allowance to buy the meals. Beginning July 1st, military personnel stationed in peacetime barracks have been footing their bill for their own lunches as the government scraps the long-running state-funded meal program in the KDF barracks. The ministry has defended the move, saying the current system is rigid, inefficient, and prone to logistical issues such as long queues and duplicated rations when personnel are reassigned.
We've actually received reports, some positive directly from the officers themselves, saying that they actually encourage that they use the system. Some from politicians saying that it might not be a good system. I think this affords you an opportunity to clear the air and say exactly what is happening with our officers.
So did you involve them before coming up with this new policy? And just tell us clearly, how does it work?
The free lunch is replaced with an allowance. So there's an increment to the soldier. I don't think it touches at all on the issue of morale of our personnel. One, because it only applies to personnel within peacetime locations. Personnel within operation areas continue with a free meal plan as it has been. Personnel on training and other specialized assignments continue with the meal plan as it has been. So there is no issue at all. And actually, the pilot has taken off.
The Democratic Action Party of Kenya DAPK party leader Eugene Wamalwa now says there is a plan by President William Ruto to infiltrate the political outfit through frivolous petitions seeking a change in leadership. Addressing the press on Tuesday after the party's National Executive Committee meeting, Wamalwa warned the president against the move, saying the party is intact and unbreakable. He accused Ruto of thwarting democratic space in the country with a focus on parties that are likely to pose political threats to his presidential bid in 2027. Trans Nzoia County Governor George Natembeya is said to be leading the Liberal faction that seeks to rebrand the party to have a national appeal, while Wamalwa is reportedly leading the Conservative wing that seeks to maintain the party's current structure.
They have got a mandate to listen to both the petitioners and the respondents and take their views in a fair hearing and come up with a recommendation. Those recommendations should be forwarded to the National Executive Council within the next 30 days.
Nataka niseme kwa Bwana William Ruto, if you think you are going to infiltrate this party the way you did the Jubilee Party of Uhuru Kenyatta, we want to tell you that we have our eyes open. We will not allow you to kill democratic parties such as ours or to undermine multi-party democracy.
Our country has suffered because of a lack of accountable leadership within the higher echelons of government. Nataka uongozi wetu, transparency, democracy, and integrity inaanzia the highest level of government. So today we are speaking as NEC, the highest decision-making body of this party.
I mean, interesting conversation that is being had right there with the Democratic Action Party of Kenya, especially with just looking at the two leaders who are key figures within the Western Kenya. And just, you know, the biggest question really is what's the mission of this particular party, not just in terms of 2027, but also beyond 2027. And also not just about the presidential seat, but all other seats in various counties. So we'll be looking forward to see if those in-house troubles will be sorted out by this dispute tribunal committee that has been formed. Now, the government is committed to accelerating the roads, electricity, housing, markets, health and education projects in northern Kenya to achieve the objective of inclusivity and affirmative action. Deputy President Kithure Kindiki met members of parliament representing constituencies in the northern Kenya counties of Mandera, Wajir and Garissa to track progress of government programs and projects in their areas of representation.
I'm a great advocate of inclusion, equity, and the indivisibility of Kenya, and I believe every part of Kenya needs to be treated equally, and the places that have lagged behind needs affirmative action from government. We also are on course with a roads program. Our roads program had stalled, but now we've come with an innovative financing model to sustain road construction for the remainder of this term and beyond. Through the securitization model, contractors who had abandoned road construction sites 6 years ago, they have now started going back. So I hope that model will help us expedite the northern Kenya roads.
What we want is we want him to come back, we want this government to come back, and we want all those projects and programs to take off. And for us, for the first time in 63 years, now is when we consider ourselves the citizens of this country.
President William Ruto has hailed the pivotal role of young people in driving Kenya's growth and development, describing them as the single most decisive force in determining the country's destiny. Speaking during the International Youth Day celebrations at the Masinde Muliro University in Kakamega County, Ruto lauded the energy, creativity, and resilience of Kenyan youths, noting their influence in sectors such as science, technology, and sports. The president announced that his administration has developed a multi-pronged strategy to equip young people with skills relevant to the modern job market and to expand employment opportunities.
Single most decisive force that will shape Kenya's destiny is not oil, is not gold, or any other natural resource. It is the young people. For generations, young people have been referred to the leaders of tomorrow. But our youth are the builders of today, the architects of the future, and the driving engine powering Kenya's rise to greatness. I have seen it in many places. I have seen it with the Harambee Stars. That is why I am deeply honored to be here in Kakamega County to celebrate the energy, the creativity, and the resilience of our young people, and to harness and amplify their immense contribution to our bold national transformation agenda. Our Constitution commands us to equip young people with relevant education and training, to guarantee them opportunities for association and representation, to open doors for their political, social, economic, and cultural participation, and to protect them from harmful practices and exploitation.
All right, at that point, allow us to take a quick breather right here on EBN Prime Edition. We'll be back shortly with more news making headlines. Stay with us. Staying with us, Kiharu Member of Parliament Ndindi Nyoro has urged the government to expand key highways without introducing toll charges, saying such fees amount to double taxation for Kenyan road users. Nyoro said that strategic road corridors such as the Nairobi-Nakuru-Mau Summit and the Nairobi-Mombasa highways should be upgraded through direct government funding rather than public-private partnerships that require motorists to pay tolls. Nyoro argued that Kenyans already bear multiple taxes and levies, including VAT and pay-as-you-earn, as well as the fuel levy, which is meant to fund road maintenance.
The Ministry of Roads, now through Kenha, is in the process of coming up with ways of tolling our roads or instituting charges on the usage of roads. And this may impact on the roads that are already built, but also on the projects that are in the pipeline to be built. Roads infrastructure plays a critical role, but we have to always look at the cost of usage of this infrastructure. Of note is the road from the one we know is called Mau Summit, Rironi Mau Summit Road, or Nairobi Nakuru Mau Summit Road, others may call it that way. And in the initial stage, we are talking about close to 170 kilometers of road. Kenyans in the western part of Kenya deserve this road to be dualed, and they deserve this road to be upgraded. But it will not serve our economy when this road is packaged as a business model. This road, when we continue now instituting tolling, like what we want to do on Rironi Mau Summit Road, what we are basically doing is increasing the cost of doing business. Because now the motorist will be made now to pay for the fuel, pay the road maintenance levy in the fuel, which they already pay, but on the side, they'll again be needed to pay an extra cost of using this road. Now, of note is that in whatever we are calling PPPs, public-private partnerships, they are actually not private. They are mostly entirely public. We are just running away from responsibility and liability.
Kenya and Iran have established a joint committee tasked with eradicating trade obstacles within 60 days, paving the way for the lifting of the ban on Kenyan tea exports to Iran. The breakthrough was reached during the 7th session of the Kenya-Iran Joint Commission for Cooperation held in Nairobi, co-chaired by Kenya's Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi and Dr. Golamreza Nuri Gezalche, the Minister of Agriculture of Jihad, Iran. The move comes in the wake of a criminal trade malpractice involving a Kenyan company, Cup of Joe Limited, which has since been deregistered by the Tea Board of Kenya and is set to face prosecution. Investigations revealed that the firm imported low-grade tea, blended it, and re-exported it to Iran as high-grade Kenyan tea, triggering a diplomatic dispute and the subsequent ban.
We have agreed in small discussions that we are having on the many areas in agriculture that we can cooperate in. We already trade substantially with Iran in agriculture, and we want to expand this trading area, the business in agriculture, in many fronts that we have identified. May they be in land commercialization, where Iranian businessmen and farmers can farm on leased land here in Kenya. May it be in the area of mechanization, where Iranian businessmen can cooperate with Kenyan counterparts to start assemblies and manufacturing of farm implement and mechanization of our agriculture, and for possible expansion into other areas of the world. May it be in the area of vaccine production. Kenya, as you know, is a net vaccine exporter around the region and the Middle East. But Iran has also got a lot of capability and technical know-how in that area, and we can cooperate to expand and control a lot of that area of animal vaccine production. We are also looking at the pesticides area, and we have also mentioned to our counterparts from Iran that Kenya is leading the way within the region, the commercial region, the East African community, in terms of banning chemicals that do not work, chemicals that are harmful for our agriculture, and you'd like to go and cooperate with them in the area of the use of pyrethrin as the basic organic substance to produce better, more climate-friendly.
The nurses' strike that brought services at public health facilities to a halt in Siaya has been called off following an agreement between the Kenya National Union of Nurses and the county government. In an agreement signed between the union officials and the county government top brass led by County Secretary Joseph Ogutu, the nurses agreed to suspend the industrial action for 30 days to give the devolved unit time to address their grievances. Addressing the media at the county headquarters, the county secretary said both parties have agreed on the matters under the contention.
Following the strike, we have had consultations with the Kenya National Union of Nurses and Midwives for 3 consecutive days, and this evening we have reached a resolution whereby we have agreed on the matters that were under contention, and we have signed an agreement with the union officials that paves way for the nurses to resume duties with immediate effect. This agreement has been signed this evening, and the 2 parties, that is the county government of Siaya and the chapter or the branch of Kenya Nurses Union, have both agreed to abide by the terms as set out in the agreement.
We want to confirm here as a union that it has not been easy for the nurses who undertook this initiative. It is always with negative impacts on the community and the patients and their relatives when nurses down their tools. And as nurses, we have decided today, having engaged our employer on a number of meetings starting Friday, Saturday up to late in the night, and today from morning, we've been having discussions on how we could resolve the matters. I want to confirm that we have come into agreement over a number of issues that we presented that we still had contentions over. And this evening, through our national office, we decided that we should suspend the strike with 30 days with regard to the request from our employer.
We say thanks to both the players that has culminated to this end, with us reaching this end to sign and communicate to our members the agreed issues and with the time to be implemented. Starting from the employer, we've spent almost all the time, starting that very Friday up to today. There was commitment, there was good faith, and the document that has been equally signed, it is in good faith.
Kiambu County Governor Kimani Wamatangi has ramped up efforts to make Thika Town an industrial smart city by taking his proposal to the Senate for approval. Flanked by a team of Kiambu leaders, Wamatangi pitched Thika as the ideal candidate to become not only the first city in the Mount Kenya region, but also a trailblazer as its foundation is rooted in industry, innovation, technology. Appearing before senators, the governor argued that Thika has already ticked all the boxes, pointing to its population, modern infrastructure, and overwhelming public backing for the upgrade. Wamatangi maintained that city status would unlock a wave of new investments, attract industries, create jobs, and channel more resources into the local economy, thereby cementing Thika's position as a local industrial powerhouse.
For an industry like Delmonte, employing all the thousands of people, as have been saying, and I'll just use that as an example, to exist within a locality, continue to maintain profitability and create sustenance is a story about the potential of that place. The reason why Thika was branded the Birmingham of Kenya those many years ago is because factors necessary to promote industry have been present there throughout. Question of, do we have the potential, Chair? Yes, we do, and especially do we have the human resource and the catalyst to ensure that when they are spanned out, they have the skills necessary? Yes, we do.
Let me, I come from Marsabit, and a lot of business people from Marsabit are normally buying goods from Nairobi, but these days, because of factories of like cement, not cement, steel, and many other factories in Thika are helping us. And I would be very happy to see Thika getting city status.
I was given a very good information about Kiambu. Apparently for 6 months, Kiambu has recorded 0 maternal deaths. Is that true? And Homa Bay was following. Homa Bay had done 60 days at the time of the meeting, which I found to be a very profound, a very good indicator in terms of help. And in fact, I'm hoping the rest of the counties around the country can learn one or two things on how they have managed to keep maternal health.
Now to sports. Rwanda's Celestine Nsanzuwera delivered a stunning comeback in the final round to clinch the Sunday East Africa Johnny Walker Classic at Diamond's Leisure Golf Resort in Diani. Starting the day 4 shots behind leader Dismas Indiza, Celestine carded a brilliant 4 under par 68, overcoming late round pressure to edge ahead with a decisive birdie on the 18th hole. He finished on 5 under overall, taking home 400,000 Kenyan shillings and 210 points in the Sunshine Development Tour East Africa Swing Order of Merit. And that is what happened at golf.
Well, thank you. I would like to thank everyone and each one helped me to play this golf. For this win, I'm feeling so excited because it came from nowhere, like I win on Naivasha. So it came from nowhere, but I tried my best since I started my round. I did everything right, and I finally made it on the last hole and win it. What was good on my head when I was playing on those 16 and 17, 18, I just kept my game plan. I didn't change anything. I was playing my game without seeing his shots, without checking for birdies. I was just getting for pars and playing my fairways. And finally on the 17, I just made a mistake of hitting shots, which makes me get a bogey.
And that's a wrap for tonight. Thank you for watching. I hope you're up to date with what is making headlines across the country. You have been in safe pair of hands tonight with Laura Omondi on the sign language interpretation. My name is Cynthia Nanjala. We wish you a blessed night ahead.